as always. We're back at Mud Island. I'm sorry, my conscience will not let me finish the series basically on this island until I've got every pile. Today we're gonna be anchored on the northern end of the island like always, but I gotta walk all the way to the south end and get 4 or 5 buoys, patches of them I guess, and then come back in the boat, and I might try another island depending on how long it takes. I know it takes a half hour to walk it with nothing. So it's 7 a.m. right now. I'm gonna tie up the boat, anchor it up, and then we'll be on our way doing that. But the boat's out there. Don't know if you can see it. There's another boat out there. I talked to him this morning. And yeah, so I'm sorry about all this coming only to this island. I am sorry about that, but I cannot, with good conscience, I cannot finish this island until I'm certain that I've done all that I can to get what I want for buoys. I piled them all around. Last time we only got the western side of the island. This time I'm gonna finish it because all the other piles aren't as big. That being said, I'm just gonna make a double check here, make sure I got everything I need, and I didn't. I knew I forgot one thing. There we go. All right. So now that I got everything, we're gonna get going. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, we're gonna be looking for them halibut tags. I'm gonna be walking right past where I suspect I dropped them, and hopefully I can find them. As you can tell, I don't really beachcomb that well. I already found 3 buoys that I missed, and I've walked this shoreline 3 times. Plus the last time I went back and forth. But anyway, I'm getting to where I left my first pile. I'm thinking I'm gonna leave these there with that and come back for them, and I will come back for them because it's not far from the boat. And last time, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I lost a balloon. It had a broken nose and it must have trickled away from me. But we're here now, next to where one of the piles were, and there's still a lot of buoys here, but they're all broke. But look at this, look at this. This is a balloon LD4, nothing wrong with it. I left it because it was too big. Well, it might have, yeah, it has a broken nose, but it's still good. What we do, we put net bags, we take old pieces of dragger net, wrap it around the whole thing, and then tie it on the end, and it holds it in like a little cocoon. All right, so we're approaching where my furthest pile was last time. And I'm gonna give a quick check to see if I can find my tags, because I think they're right around here, because this is where I done most of my bending over. That's where one buoy. Kind of got to keep a wide angle view to be able to see anything. But I don't see nothing, which sucks, because I really wanted them tags. Those were a really cool find. My tags, I lost them somewhere else because I knew I had them there. I knew I had them when I got here, but on the way back, that's when I must have lost them. Okay, Aggravation Nation, as you can probably tell, found the balloon, but this balloon was way farther than what I remember putting it. So I think that when I was dragging it, it fell off, fell in the water, and then the waves just pushed it in another place. That's all I can figure. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going because I'm gonna have to put you guys on my head because I see another pile here. And I'm not gonna be able to hold the selfie stick any longer. Wow, here we go. Another pile right here. Anyway, I'm gonna put you guys on my head and then keep walking. Got these buoys here. These are the plants that make you itch. What are they, I wonder? I'm not sure, but it feels like they sting you, but then you look on your legs, there's nothing there. I don't know what kind of plant it is, but if you guys know, let me know. I'd love to have a name for this asshole. There's no proper word for that. Anyway, right there, that's Naughty Island. And right beyond the fog bank right over there is Seal Island. I want to do that one, but it's a bigger island than this one, so it's probably going to be a 2-dayer, and I probably won't happen, I don't think. Unfortunately, I can't pile my buoys because all this shoreline's rocky and it's always got a swell, and I'm not risking my boat for a bunch of buoys, so I'm gonna have to carry these and get all my other bunches. So let's go do that. Alright, so we're still right here, but I forgot about so many piles, it's unreal. So let's grab this and carry on. If I can get the knot untied, but I don't think I need to because I got these. That's the greatest thing. Right there. I'll have to wait for that one. It's a nice buoy there. Cute little one. I like the little ones for some reason. And that doesn't mean in every way, in case you got a dirty mind. Don't know if you can see it, but there's a boat going by and a fog bank over here. So it looks like it's going to be a foggy ride home. Oh well, good thing I got an avionics. Didn't take long for that fog to roll in. Don't know if you can tell, but I was just over there 5 minutes ago. And the fog's rolling in, I'd say 2 minutes. It took 2 minutes probably. Okay, I was gonna leave my pile here, but as you can tell, there's a lot of rocks, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be difficult to get in here to begin with. There's a seal right there staring me down. Yeah, I see a rock right there. I'm not gonna leave them here. I was gonna leave them here because it's an easy spot to get to and it's not too far from where my boat is. But as of right now, I can see some rocks there and I don't trust it. So I'm going to bring it around this point. This is the last point before I turn the corner to go back up the island. So I headed south the whole way back and I'm headed north the whole way up. But that was just a fog bank because I can see Naughty Island again and Seal Island in the distance. Anyway, there's a barrel here. I cannot bring it because I've already reached my capacity of lugging. But I'm making good time today because I don't got thousands of buoys behind me. Right now, let's see what time it is. It's 8:30. I got here at 7. Low tide's at 11. So my hope is in another hour and a half to be back at the boat. And then hopefully I can get out of here if my boat doesn't beach, because I'm kind of concerned about that too. But if it does, I'll just have to stay here a little longer because the tide will come up at dinner time and I'll be coming back up. But I'm hoping to be out of here by dinner time so that way I can go to another island, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna drag these buoys up into this cove. Then I'm gonna set them as close to the water as I can. and come get them with my boat, because I'm not going to run them on this rocky shore. And fog bank's gone. I can see Seal Island. I really want to go on that island, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it there this summer. One of the last piles here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set everything close as I can to the shore, so that way it's just I get in and out of the boat. And I don't got to spend much time with my boat beat up on the shore. I'm going to go over there a bit. Oh crap. This stuff is slippery, by the way. Yes. Over here is a better approach. I'm going to set them right here. If I don't get here back in time, it will just float up. Hopefully float out. I'd love that. Ooh! That's why it's hard to walk on these. I'm going to take the balloon first. There is a cabin that I'm going to explore right quick. Trick is, step on the dry rocks, not on the rockweed. There. That's why it's difficult. What rock was it? That one, I'm pretty sure. There. Perfect. Now, continue walking without all that burden of the weight. So I dropped my buoys back there. In a distance, you probably can't see them. But there's this cabin here that I've always wondered what's going on. And I don't think people's been to it in decades, because everything's grown up and I don't even know if I'll be able to get to it. I'm not going to try get myself all chewed up and try to get to it. Man, it's unbelievable. So I don't think I can show this. Yeah, nobody's been there on decades, but there is a dead seal here decomposing way up here. So something carried him up here, or a storm blew in and then he tried to get out of the water and ran up land and he couldn't get back. But anyway, there's the cabin right there. I'm gonna walk over here so you don't see that. Right over there is a cabin. It's tore apart, so it's been like that for years. But anyway, figured I'd show you guys that. I've been on here many times, but I've never been in here. I'm gonna get up on this rock, try not to slip. This island's a lot bigger than I think. Anyway, there's that cabin in the background. And I'm gonna get going, because I'm not getting in that cabin and I'm not gonna get chewed up trying. It's been a bit since I've seen you. We dropped one pile across this little point into the rocks, but I've collected some more buoys. So right now I'm going to put all these together and bring them with me, because my boat's only right over here in the distance. There's one beach here which is not a nice beach, and then that beach is nicer. So I got half a kilometer and then I'll be back to the boat. But then I gotta go back to the other side of the island, grab 3 or 4 buoys and a balloon, bring them back here, and then I'm gonna get in the boat and go over there and get those. So we'll keep, even though we're so close to my boat, I'm gonna leave those buoys there and come get them with the boat. If the tide comes up, I don't care. because it'll just float them off for me. Anyway, gonna go check on the boat and get my other GoPro battery, and then we'll get going to collect them all. Alright, so I've made it back to the boat. Just for example, this anchor right here, that anchor there, that was knee deep in water when I got here. And now it's about 20 feet from the water. As you might be able to tell. So the Bay of Fundy has the world's strongest tides. It's like, I remember a guy who used to truck for a company based out of Digby. He used to pick up fish at the fish plant that I used to work at, and he told me it was like 30 feet from where the water was on the wharf at high tide to where it was at low tide. So 30 foot difference every 6 hours, 4 times a day. Well, no, high tide twice, low tide twice, I guess. Anyway, that's the Bay of Fundy. I don't know how far from the Bay of Fundy. I think 100 kilometers. I don't know. But we're close enough that we still got a lot of strong tide here. So, anyway, I'm going to change the battery in my GoPro. And then we're going to run up to over there, grab that balloon and a couple buoys, run back here, put them all in the boat, and then pick up those 2 piles. So, I know it's getting boring seeing this, but this is the last time for Mud Island, and I want to show you this right quick. Over there, there's a seal sunbathing, and he just got off that rock. He was sitting right up there enjoying this good old sun, getting a suntan. I scared him off. But anyway, he'll come back out once I leave. So as you guys can tell, I've returned to this side of the island. I've got the balloons right here, and I'm going to pick them up and we're going to take them back to the boat. Just going to do one last scan of the area to make sure I missed nothing. So as you can probably tell, I made it back to the boat. So now I'm going to get my gear on and we're going to leave. I can't wait. I am so stoked that I'm finally done with this island. I've done all my combing, although I laughed. I just left Mud Island and I'm just going close to the shores around Round Island, which is this island right here to my right, and to my left is Flat Island. But I don't know much about these islands. I wanted to scout them out. Since I'm already all the way down here, I'll do it. And I just wanted to give a quick look around, see if it was worth trying to beachcomb. because there's so many. There could be a lot of balloons, but I really can't tell unless I'm going around the island or close to it. I'll tell you guys what, I mean, Nova Scotia pays a lot in taxes, and I hate it. But some days you just gotta sit back and appreciate how much tax you're paying, because not everybody gets this freedom. Well, technically not freedom, but I still gotta pay a lot of tax for beautiful days like this. I mean, you can't get much calmer than this. This is calm, like beautiful. Okay, Aggravation Nation, let me slow down here a bit. I've come upon the haddock fleet. There's a couple lobster boats, and they're all fishing for haddock recreationally. In Nova Scotia, you're allowed three. Oh my goodness. You're allowed 5 or 10 or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, we're gonna go to the haddock fleet and I'll show you. Everybody's at it though. I gotta mark it on my phone so I can come out and film content. I had to wait for a sailboat too. I don't think I was in danger of anything, but I slowed down a bit because they had the right of way, obviously. But he's not under sail because it's so nice today. But I'd rather play it safe than sorry. I don't need to get in a boat accident. Sailboat there, haddock fleet there. Doing 23 knots. Wide open, 23.7. Alright, so what's up all you beauties from the nation of aggravation? I don't know, I'm weird like that. I just had to go like that. Anyway, I'm going to clean out the boat, and instead of showing you guys the process all over again, I'm just going to end this video here. So, with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave me a comment if you think I should do something better or something can be more convenient. I just noticed this. I'll show you guys right quick. This one belongs to that Robbie Gray. So whoever Robbie Gray is, I have his buoy, but I pretty much can guarantee that one's from Maine, because hardly anybody uses those orange tags for anything in Canada. But anyway, I'm gonna get this boat cleaned up, get motor flushed and doing all that stuff, and you guys have a nice day. See you in the next video.